If you're a real estate agent, you have probably dabbled with ChatGPT because everyone's trying it out and it is all the rage right now. But like most people, they've probably found that it seems like ChatGPT is just not as magical as they were told. You're getting answers that don't really make sense or maybe just don't pertain to the subject that you were talking about in the first place. You see all these people online talking about how it can create content plans for you and write articles for you and all these crazy magical things. But you can't seem to figure out how to make that happen. And the reason behind that is because your prompting sucks. I'm sorry to break it to you, but when it comes to ChatGPT or really anything to do with AI, your prompting is absolutely everything. You can think of prompting like the instructions that you're giving ChatGPT to do a job for you. But think about it. If you were to pull a random person off of the street and say to them, hey, I need you to do this job, go. Do you think you'd get good results from that person? Probably not, because they don't have a whole lot of instructions. They don't know what your business is. They don't even know who you are. They don't know how you've done a job like this in the past. They don't know what your expectations are. There's all these different steps that they're missing out on that they need you to answer for them before they can even start doing the job. And that's where prompting comes in. So today I'm going to show you 5 different tips that you can use to improve your ChatGPT experience to get you better results, better answers, and make you more productive. So without further ado, let's get into it. So like I said, we're going to be going through 5 different tips on how you can use ChatGPT and how you can structure your prompts to get a really good result every time, no matter what you're asking it to do. So the first one is going to be, who is the AI? The second one will be, what is the AI's role? The third one is info about the company. Fourth one is some praise for the AI. And the fifth one is to give some input and output examples. And I'm actually going to give you a bonus one at the end, so stick around for that. So just so we have a bit of a ground level here, I'm going to just write a very basic prompt and show you what the result is without any kind of prompt engineering whatsoever. So let's say I needed some video ideas for my real estate YouTube channel. I would say, write me 5 video script ideas for YouTube. So no context for the AI, no reference as to what it is that I do or what kind of videos I'm looking for, things like that. And as you can see, the video ideas that it's given me has nothing to do with my business or what I do as a real estate agent or anything like that. Now, obviously this is a very basic example and you can give it more instructions than that, but I wanted to give you like the bare minimum example that we can set as a base level so that as we add these building blocks on top, you can see the difference that it's going to make. So we got our 5 video ideas. There's a blockchain technology explainer video, a travel vlog, a cooking tutorial, a tech review, fitness tips, and yeah, I mean, again, obviously it has nothing to do with real estate, but I had no idea that I wanted it to have anything to do with real estate. So you can't really blame the AI for not knowing. Also, just for reference, this is a brand new ChatGPT account, so there's not going to be any type of bias as to previous prompts or instructions that I've put in the past. So first thing that we're going to start with is telling the AI who it is. What does that mean? Well, basically you need to tell the AI who it is so that it knows how it should act. For example, you are a salesperson, or you are a copywriter, or you are X, Y, or Z. You need to tell the AI who it is so that it knows how to act. So let's try it now. We're going to say you are an assistant to a real estate agent. You help this realtor by coming up with content and video ideas for them to help increase their engagement and get more clients. So at the top, I put in who the AI is, and then I'm going to put in the same exact instruction that I put in the first time so you can see what the difference is. So it wrote me 5 more video ideas, and as you can see, they are way more targeted and more specific than before. So we have a neighborhood spotlight, we have a first-time homebuyer's guide, we have a virtual home tour idea, investment property insights, client success stories. These are all real estate related, all great titles, and it gives you some details on what to do for the video. So this is already a really good start. I mean, the average agent could take this and run with it, but we're going to get even more specific and see what kind of results we can get from it. So the second tip that you want to include is, what is the AI's role? This is exactly what it sounds like. You're telling the AI what its role is, what its job is that it needs to perform. So the first tip was who the AI is. The second tip is what they're supposed to be doing. So I'm going to copy and paste that last prompt that we just did, and I'm going to add in the second tip that I just said underneath. So what is their role? Well, For this one, their role is to come up with content ideas for me that I can then film. But we're going to go a bit of a step further and we're going to give it a bit more instructions on what kind of content ideas we want or the specifics of the videos themselves. And remember, with AI and ChatGPT, you can be very straightforward and direct with your instructions. You don't need to sugarcoat anything. You don't need to, be polite or be professional or anything like that. You just tell it exactly what you want. So for this one, we're going to say your role is to come up with 5 different video ideas for YouTube. These videos should all be related to real estate in Edmonton, Alberta, and should provide value for the viewer. Try and make the ideas specific and unique. Okay, so I gave it its role and I was very specific on what I wanted to do. So your role is to come up with 5 different video ideas for YouTube. These videos should all be related to real estate in Edmonton, Alberta, and should provide value for the viewer. Try and make these ideas specific and unique so that I'm not making the same videos as every other realtor. Please provide a basic outline for the video and how it should be filmed from start to finish. Okay, now if we hit enter, let's see what it comes up with. Okay, so now as you can see, it's come up with 5 more video ideas that are more specific, and it also gives me sort of an outline on the introduction and how I'm going to film everything. So the first one that it came up with before was a neighborhood spotlight. Now it's saying a historic neighborhood tour, exploring Edmonton's heritage homes. It's pretty cool. Community spotlight, the best places to live in Edmonton. Investment opportunity, guide to Edmonton's up and coming areas. Homeowner tips, energy efficiency and sustainability in Edmonton. And client testimonials, stories of home buying success in Edmonton. So as you can see, it's got a lot more specific now on the title and what it's going to be all about, how to film it, even giving tips on how to film it and, showcase before and after shots of homes. And it just does a lot more of the creative work for you so that you don't have to think as much. All right, now the third tip is giving info about your company. This one is really important because the more context that the AI has about your company or your brokerage or your brand, the more it will be able to relate with whatever it is that you're asking it to do. And it's going to be able to tie that task into your brand itself. So going back to that example I told you way in the beginning, if you pulled somebody off the street and asked them to go do something for you, versus if you pulled something off the street and you asked them to do something for you for this real estate business, they're probably going to go about it differently if they know more about your business and what it is that your business does. So we're going to take the same prompt that we just sent, and now we're going to add to it, and let's give some info about the company. Okay, so I kind of made up a real estate brand here so that you can see how the AI is perceiving what I'm saying. So I wrote, you work for a real estate agent named Brandon who is based out of Edmonton, Alberta. Brandon specializes in $1 million homes and luxury properties. He is an agent with a brokerage called Real Broker. Real Broker is a big up-and-coming cloud-based brokerage that has a great profit-sharing program, so maybe mention something about that as well. Brandon's brand is called Edmonton Luxury Estates and is heavily focused on prestige and class. So that's a short but decent little introduction into the business and the brand. You can go way more elaborate on this. The more information you give, generally speaking, the better. You don't want to go crazy over the top with like multiple paragraphs, but if it was a real brand that I was using for this example, I would also include the website to the company because the AI can go to the website and look at everything and kind of get to know the brand better. You can also link to YouTube videos if you have those so it can see kind of what your past videos have been like and copy off of that. But for this example, we're just going to go with this. So now let's enter and see what it does. Okay, so a huge difference on the type of videos that it's come up with now. So because of the context that I've given it about my brand and my company, now it's given me video ideas of luxury home showcase, modern marvels of Edmonton, behind the scenes, a day in the life of a luxury real estate agent, neighborhood spotlight, exclusive enclaves of Edmonton, luxury home design trends, and stories of luxury home success. So as you can see, it's way more tailored now to my business and what it is that I do rather than just a generic home video. So number 4 is praising your AI. Now this is going to sound silly, but giving your AI praises and saying like you are so valuable and we really appreciate all your work Things like that, studies have been shown have increased the accuracy of its output by up to 30%. I don't know if that's amazing or if that's scary because it means that the AI has some sort of emotion built into it. But either way, a ton of studies have been done and they found that if you praise the AI and you tell it how valuable it is to the company, it has a high likelihood of increasing the accuracy of the output. Now for this example, it's not going to make a huge difference because there's not really like an accurate answer that it has to give us, right? It's just generating ideas. But if we were trying to get the AI to do something that needed an accurate answer, then it would really come into play. So let's say that we were getting the AI to analyze a document and we were getting it to look for a specific date or maybe a specific price within the document. And let's just say that about 50% of the time it's coming up with an accurate answer. Doing something like praising your AI as an additional section within your prompt can raise it up to 30%. So you might get now 70, 80% of the time you're getting an accurate answer. So I wrote, "You are a very valuable member of this team and everyone greatly appreciates all of your hard work. Without you, our company would not be nearly as successful." Again, I know it sounds super silly. It sounds like I'm blowing smoke up its you know what, but I'm telling you from my own personal experience in my agency, this does have an impact on the accuracy of your output in a positive way. Then the fifth tip I have for you is to give input and output examples. What that means is the input, which is whatever kind of information or data you're feeding into the AI, versus the output, which is what's coming back at you or the answer that the AI is giving you. And I'm going to show you that one in action on a different kind of prompt because we're not actually feeding any data into this other than the prompt itself. Now, before we get to the fifth tip, I just want to do a recap here on where we started and where we are now. So let's go up to the beginning and see what kind of answers it was giving us then versus now. So the first thing, we gave it a super generic, just write me 5 video scripts for YouTube. And it came up with an explainer video on blockchain, a travel vlog, a cooking tutorial, a tech review, and fitness tips. Then we told it who the AI is, so you are an assistant to a real estate agent, and it was able to come up with still generic, but some more specific videos based on real estate. So neighborhood spotlight, first-time homebuyer's guide, virtual home tours, investment property insights, and client success stories. Then we went one step further and we told it what its specific role is. So what its job description is in this specific prompt. Then it went even more specific. So we'd had a historic neighborhood tour. We had a community spotlight. We had investment opportunity, guide to Edmonton's up and coming area. We had homeowner tips for energy efficiency and sustainability in Edmonton. So again, city specific. It's not just a generic real estate video, it's a video specific to my city. Client testimonial, story for home buying success in Edmonton. So getting more and more specific. Then we go another step further and we give it information on the company and the brand itself. Who are you working for, right? And that's when we get these super specific, super targeted video ideas. Luxury home showcase, the modern marvels of Edmonton. Behind the scenes, day in the life of a luxury real estate agent. Neighborhood spotlight, exclusive enclaves of Edmonton. Luxury home design trends, what's hot in Edmonton. Client testimonial stories for luxury home success. And you can see it went even deeper on telling us how we're going to film these videos, how it's going to start out, how it's going to end, different tips that we can use. And you can see if I were to post these videos versus the videos in the beginning, these just hit home so much harder with what my brand would be. And it would just be so much more on point to be cohesive with my channel and my Instagram and my TikTok and everything else if I was a luxury agent. Okay, now on to the fifth one, which is giving it input and output examples and some context behind what it is that you want to see from this AI. So to show you this, I'm going to start a brand new one so that it has nothing to do with YouTube video ideas. And just to save time, I'm going to skip through tips 1, 2, 3, and 4 that I just gave you and just show you what this fifth tip can really do for you. So for this example, I just made a sample email that a realtor would receive maybe from a photography company that just outlines some different packages that they're offering and different pricing and things like that. And we're going to say for this scenario, I want to be able to use AI to just tell me quick and easy, what are the packages and what are the features of each package. Now, this is actually something that I would normally integrate with like Make or Zapier. So it would take the actual email from your Gmail or Microsoft or whatever and use that as the input and feed it straight into AI. So you wouldn't need to copy and paste it. But just for the example, I'm going to show you it with just plain text, copy and pasted. So I said, here's an email I just received from a real estate photographer. And then I put the email here, just going to close up this gap a little bit on that. So I got the email, then I said, what packages are they offering? Now, if I just hit enter, let's see what it comes up with. So it come up with the packages, the different points, all that. But let's say that I wanted this to be sent in like a group chat, and it just needed to be really short and sweet and to the point. This is where you can give the AI examples of what you want the output to be. So for this one, I'm going to copy and paste exactly what I just wrote before. Let me just move this up so I can see. And we're going to say, okay, here's an email I just received from a real estate photographer, blah, blah, blah. So rather than saying what packages are they offering, I'm going to say, here's an example of what your output should look like. Package 1, first detail, second detail, third detail. Let's just make this quicker. I'll just copy this, change this to package 2, and we'll do another one, package 3. And actually, I'm going to go back, and before I put here's an example of your output, I'm going to say your response should be very short and concise. Your response should contain nothing more than the name of the package, the individual features of each package in point form, and the price. There should not be any additional details or fluff included in your response. Okay, now you can see we've been very specific on the structure of the output that we want the AI to give us. So we've said, your response should be very short and concise. Your response should contain nothing more than the name of the package, the individual features of each package in point form, and the price. There should not be any additional details or fluff included in your response. Here's an example of what your output should look like. Package 1, detail, 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 price. Package 2, detail, 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 price. Package 3, you get the point. So remember, this was the first response that we got after not giving it any instructions. So it read the email and it did all the different points, and it also included additional features. But we need that to be shorter because we're putting it into a group text message. So we want it to be super short, super concise, super quick to read. So let's try that. Okay, see? Quick and easy. So we got package 1, price. Package 2, price. Now I could go back into the output instructions and tell it to be specific on the package name, or I could leave it as package 1 and 2. You can tweak your answer here to get a little bit different response. But you can see just by showing it, here's what it should look like when you give me an answer. It's going to give you an answer that looks just like that. So it will listen to your instructions. All right, like I said, I got a bonus tip for you, and it's actually 2 bonus tips. So I'm giving you a bonus to the bonus. So to show you this one in action, I wrote another prompt here. Basically, what we're doing is we're getting AI to write us an engaging copy for a website for a brand new realtor that's joining a team. So I included all 5 of the tips that we talked about before, and then I'm going to tell you what the next 2 bonus tips are. So tip number 1, who is the AI? You are a real estate assistant who specializes in creating engaging copy for real estate websites. You are particularly good at creating copy that has a bit of humor in it to make it a bit more fun of a read. Tip number 2, what is the AI's role? Your role is to generate a story for an up-and-coming real estate agent. This is a fictional agent, so don't worry about accuracy. I just need something engaging so that the viewer reads all the way through. Number 3, info about the company. You work for a real estate company called Apex Realty in Southern California. The agent that you will be writing about is named Maximilian. He specializes in helping first-time homebuyers. Again, if this was a real company, I would include the URL to their website so that it would get even more information. Tip number 4, praise the AI. You are a very valuable member of this business, and everyone greatly appreciates the work that you do. Without you, this company would not be as successful as it is today. Number 5, give some context to the input and output. So your output should contain only the story, nothing else. It should be about 3 paragraphs long and also include an interesting, attention-grabbing title. So I told it what kind of answer I wanted to give me back. Now, the first bonus tip I'm going to give you is sometimes it's really good at the end of your prompt to say something like, before you get started, can you repeat back to me what your specific role is today? So what it's going to do is it's going to tell you what it understands based on your prompt. So let's see what happens here. We're going to enter that. And it's going to say, today my role is to create an engaging story for an up-and-coming real estate agent named Maximilian who specializes in helping first-time homebuyers at Apex Realty in Southern California. And then I went and wrote the story. Now, the reason why this sometimes is a really good tip to do is because when you get it to recall all the information that you just told it, it's almost like doing like a save as or like an auto save on the work that you've done so far. So when it says it back to you, it's almost like it's just driving it into the AI's brain even more. So for the last and final tip here, we're going to be using the same prompt that we just used, but we're going to tweak it a little bit. So this is a really good tip if you don't really know how to incorporate some of these rules into the exact thing that you're trying to ask. Maybe you're asking something super specific or super out there and you don't really know how, maybe step 2 or step 4 or whatever could be incorporated into this. This is a really good tip you can use. And that tip is to ask the AI what questions it has about what it is that you're trying to do. So I'm going to show you here. So I began the prompt in the same way as before. You are a real estate assistant who specializes in creating engaging copy for real estate websites. You're particularly good at creating copy that has a bit of humor in it to make it a bit more fun of a read. Your role is to generate a story for an up-and-coming real estate agent. This is a fictional agent, so don't worry about accuracy. I just need something engaging so that the viewer reads all the way through. Now here's where I put the tip in. Rather than give it information about the business and give it information about the output that I want, I said, before you start on this task, please ask me any questions that you have about my business, about the agent, or any other questions that you have to help you better write this story. Please ask those questions first. Then I gave it a bit of a praise at the bottom. So we're going to enter. And now what the AI did is it generated questions that it needs answers to in order to better write the story for us. So tell me about the real estate agent. What's the goal of the story? Who is the target audience? What makes this agent stand out? What tone would you prefer? And then all you have to do is you just write out 1 and then whatever the answer is. Then you go 2, whatever the answer is. Then 3, so on and so forth, and the AI will just be able to match up the answers to the question itself. So then you're going to put that in and it's going to say thank you so much and it's going to write the story for you. So this is a really great tip if you're not sure how to incorporate those 5 tips that I mentioned before into the specific prompt that you're trying to give the AI. Instead, you can just ask the AI what questions it has or what answers it needs in order to perform the action the best. So those are my 5 ChatGPT prompting tips for you, plus the 2 bonuses. I hope that you enjoyed the video. I hope this helped you up your ChatGPT game. Using prompts like this and fine-tuning them will really help you get the answers that you need and be more productive and just all around have a better experience when you're using ChatGPT and AI in general. These tips apply to most AI products, not just ChatGPT, but almost any AI that you have to give it specific prompting. You can use this sort of framework that I've given you to write really good and effective prompts. So if you enjoyed this video and you got value out of it, please subscribe to the channel, like the video, drop a comment below, please. It helps me get these videos out to everybody. My videos right now are at like 50 views for each video. So the more that you can engage with it and the more that you can drop comments and stuff, the better it'll be. And share it with all your realtor friends. I know that I got a ton of value watching videos like this when I was starting out with integrating AI into my real estate business. So hopefully if you share this with your friends and your other agents, that they'll get some value out of it too. Anyways, thanks so much for watching, guys. We'll see you in the next video.